I'll be relaying orders to you from now on. Estevakia's remaining forces are starting to gather near Malak Desert in East Ania. They're combining all of their forces in an attempt to stop us from recapturing Grace Maria. This operation will involve a very intense siege battle. Once the enemy's line of defense is ruined, chase them down. If you let them escape, they're going to fortify their defenses around Grace Maria. I know you must be chomping at the bit to get going, but taking out the enemy here pretty much guarantees us victory. We'll make it back to Grace Maria alive. All of us. Engage!
Talisman, which plane should I pick? How about my weaponry? Are we ready to fly with these planes?
Garuda team, time to take off.
Town back, right out of those Stoby clutches once and for all.
Garuda team, don't get too emotional on us. It's important to be calm and controlled in battle.
As long as I win, I'll do whatever it takes. Let's do this, Garuda 1.
That's enough talking. Enemy forces are spreading throughout our mission space.
You guys are just what the doctor ordered. We need your cover, Garuda team.
We've got armored vehicles on their way to take the airport. Provide cover and fire on enemy fighters before they can take off.
The Stobies don't have a chance. We've got them outnumbered. All tanks advance. Drive them out. Shoot down their fighters while they're taking off. Otherwise, they'll be after us. Enemy missile launch. Jake, don't let the armored vehicles get destroyed.
Our bombers are heading for the target. They're flying at a steady pace. Our ground troops in the south are commencing combat.
Roger that. You can count on me.
We've crossed the objective point as scheduled. The operation is proceeding as planned. Let's just get this over with. I missed. Incoming missile confirmed. Destroy them before they get off the ground. Sorry guys,
target airspace.
Bring it to the runway. Shoot down their planes while they're taking off. Try not to hit the hangar. You'll set off a secondary explosion. I'll take care of this one. This one's like some pesky gnat. Is somebody shooting down already? Here's a heads up, number 2. Cover with one downed enemy. Auto 5, enemy plane down. I'm about to go for the main target. This is Snake. Enemy attacks have intensified. I don't think I can hold out much longer. Take 705 with hit. What are you doing? Enemy forces at 10 o'clock! FCS is on the Prince. Come on, fire! Get my missile! Never take the airport at this rate. Where's our air support? Nice shot! Cruise team, don't go blowing holes in the runway. Spread out and proceed to the target point. It's almost over. I'm gonna teach those stogies a lesson they'll never forget.
Our bombers are even closer to the target airspace now. They are to commence bombing once they arrive.
Damn it, I missed. All pilots, do not abandon the pursuit. We might not make it. It's still landing. 2 missiles fired. We can do this, but don't get reckless now. We've taken control of the runway. This baby's 100% ours now.
Ruta team, we've taken over the field runway. Now you can use it whenever you need supplies. There's a safety line on the west side of the airspace. Pull out of combat and get back to base whenever you need supplies. Enemy unit approaching. It's an armed LCAC, a hovercraft unit.
Sound the charge. Just a little greeting to the enemy. Okay, let's make this something they'll never forget.
The armored LCAC unit just split off into 2 groups. Tricky SOBs.
This is very important cargo. Don't get shot down before we can land. Lance, snap out of it. They're not gonna get shot. The Commander Ghoul's armed LCAC unit. There's never anything ordinary about him. Lieutenant Commander's here? Guess that means there'll be a party if we get out of here alive.
Our northern ground unit is now engaged. Our bomber unit is down to 40%.
My right wing is damaged. Engine 1 is dead. I can't keep her up much longer. I never thought such a large plane could be so useless. What a piece of crap.
Our bombers have arrived at the target airspace. Commence bombing of enemy mission command.
This is Hammerhead. All escort planes are down. We're in dire need of support here. This is Skykin. Attack request, roger. Readying anti-aircraft defenses. Fox 2. Good team. We're about to attack the enemy field command. Follow our lead.
aircraft downed. Our bomber unit is down to 20%.
Open a bomb bay hatch. 2 missiles fired. Lady hit. She's out of control.
Enemy kill confirmed.
Heavy plane fired a missile. I can't see a thing in all this dust. I wish they'd come a little closer.
SAM destroyed.
Rikuzi, send out the trucks. Our work is done here. We're moving out.
Their LCAC is about to unload combat vehicles. Things will get pretty messy if you don't hurry up.
It's moving like locusts. From the hell are anti-aircraft guns going? Having fun, Lance? Lieutenant Commander, Lance passed out.
Malloy, check the situation in Sector L4 and make sure all anti-air guns are firing at maximum capability.
Where the hell is air defense? Our command is being bombed.
Looking sharp, Garuda 1. Keep...
Target is hard. Spread out returning. HQ command, send backup to Sector S24. I repeat, requesting backup for Sector S24.
Mars, no retreat, no surrender.
Keep fighting. We're still in this battle.
Playtime's over.
Your command unit is down. Garuda team, finish this place off.
Lock on!
Almost there. Give it everything you got. Garuda team knows how to get the job done. Mission accomplished. Nice shooting.
Enemy forces are starting to retreat. Don't let them get away.
Prepare to die, Stobies. This is where we separate the boys from the men.
It's a dance with the angels.
Get after the enemy. Don't let them slip out of sight.
They're not going anywhere. I've got a score to settle.
Mission command, Simon is awake. I repeat, Simon is awake.
Garuda team, you're almost to Great Sperria. Put everything you've got into this. Hold on. An emergency wire just came in from Mission Command. You've been ordered to evacuate. Mission Command has ordered an evacuation. All planes, cease immediately. I repeat, all planes cease fire immediately. You have been ordered to retreat.
What do you mean retreat? This is no time to screw around, Ghost Eye.
This is no joke. I'll say it again. Cease fire immediately. That's an order. Retreat from the airspace.
It seems they've made a mess of our forces. All planes, focus all fire on Garuda team. The others aren't worth wasting bullets on.
Garuda team, that's an order. Cease fire and withdraw from the airspace immediately.
You've got to be nuts! Our city's under attack here! You can't expect us to abandon our people!
I repeat, you have been ordered to cease fire by Mission Command. This mission has been aborted.
I'm putting an end to this war right here. My family has suffered for too long. This is it! Let's do this, Garuda 1!
All planes, we cannot fail this mission. Focus all attacks on Garuda team.
Garuda team, you are in violation of a direct order. Don't you see what's happening here? Comply with your order immediately.
Ghost Eye, What the hell do you know about losing a family member? I'll take whatever the hell action I see fit!
At last, Grace Marion is ours. Guard it with your lives.
This is your last warning. Cease fire now. I repeat, cease fire immediately.
If I can just kill off this unit, I can go home. Back to my family.
Shamrock, are you listening to me? You're in a lot of trouble here. Cease fire!
Planes are down! Now I can finally get back to Grace Maria.
You've made a huge mistake. There's no getting around a penalty for this.
We're gonna take our town back, right out of those Stobie clutches once and for...
According to intelligence from our Department of National Safety, Estovakia has a scorched earth policy in mind for Grace Maria. They plan to use weapons of mass destruction to completely and indiscriminately annihilate our capital city. If we keep advancing at this pace, the Estovakians are sure to destroy our capital. The Joint Chiefs of Staff have ordered us to temporarily halt the advance of all forces. This order is part of a high-level strategy. This temporary order of ceasefire was an unavoidable action for the Joint Chiefs of Staff. As Amerians, we cannot excuse this outrageous and inhuman threat posed by Estovakia. By continuing on with the mission, you have defied a direct order and will be suspended for it. You are forbidden from flying in battle starting from 1600 hours today, and all combat mission qualifications will be revoked. Any action beyond going to your own barracks from that time on will be strictly limited. I've lost a lot of respect for you after pulling this stunt. Return to your barracks and wait for further instructions. That is all.
With the smile of their golden king wiped away for good, and the ground war nearly upon us, the citizens here are losing faith. Special intelligence, we confirmed the existence of the enemy ace pilot, Garuda-1. It seems he has fallen into some kind of predicament within his own ranks. His fiercest rival, Lieutenant Commander Pasternak, is naturally worried about the possibility of Garuda-1 losing his position. After lecturing Pasternak to hold on to his baggage, I feel like a damned hypocrite. Undergarments and trousers can be replaced, but I cannot afford to lose the contents of that briefcase.
It's okay, everyone. Don't worry, he's alone. Hold him back so he can't get out to tell the others.
Street children have turned this rotting underground passage into a hideout. I guess that explains how they eluded security forces during the sweep. I've already seen the notification. Today, in this very area, the initial demolition for the Grace Maria fortification construction is to be carried out. The tremors have triggered an ancient trapdoor, unused for some 600 years. And now, we have lost our way out of here.
Garuda team, I've got some good news. The chemical agent used as a catalyst for their WMD is being transported to our shores from the Estovakian mainland. This catalyst has already been carried into the outskirts of Grace Maria. As a measure of caution against any attempts to destroy it, it has been concealed at Fort Norton in Grace Maria's north. If we start advancing again, the enemy will most likely bring the catalyst into Grace Maria at a faster pace. If in fact weapons of mass destruction are used on the population of Grace Maria, the resulting devastation can't be expressed in enough words. It will lead to unspeakable tragedies. We've used this intelligence to come up with a solid proposal on how to prevent this scorched earth policy from being executed in our capital. Just a minute ago, we received a letter of approval for our prevention plans from the Joint Chiefs of Staff. The proposal we put on the table for our scorched earth prevention policy is really quite simple. While the enemy transport unit is stationed at Fort Norton, we'll ambush them. We'd like to call it our tactic for preemptive victory. The enemy has loaded this catalyst into their transport vehicles and is able to send them into Grace Maria at any time. This plan will be carried out by a handful of our top pilots under absolute secrecy. Fly through Fort Norton's canyon at an extremely low altitude to avoid radar detection and take out those transport vehicles. We've determined that a high-risk mission of this magnitude could not be executed by anyone other than Garuda Team. We're counting on a flawless execution here.
Talisman, which plane should I pick? How about my weapon? Are we ready to fly with these planes?
Garuda Team, time to take off.
Beginning attack on the enemy's WMD catalyst. Fly in low. If you're spotted by an enemy observation tower, destroy all facilities as quickly as possible.
Some people never pray to God unless they're in a lot of trouble. And we're only called aces when people need us to bail them out. We're not a couple of private dancers for the military, you know.
If we fail this mission, your families back in Grace Maria will be in great danger.
You're just as bad, Ghost Eye. I can't believe you've got the nerve to try and join up with us again.
That bird emblem. What's it doing here? Donnie, it's me. Take cover behind those trees. Don't even let our guys know your location.
There's not much time. Talisman, hit the throttle!
Time to celebrate once you're back.
And you've got a party waiting for us, right? It would be a nice change from all that lip service.
Enemy forces are still in the vicinity. Stay on alert until you get back. Enemy fighters incoming.
This is a manageable number.
Warning, enemy presence detected on radar.
Damn it! You've got to be kidding me!
More enemy forces spotted on radar. There's a ton of them. A whole battalion.
I guess I got my hopes up too soon. Oh well, let's get this over with.
Looks like you're gonna have to face the music. Eliminate those enemy planes.
There's a bandit tailing you. Break off! Watch out! The enemy has a lock on you! Lock on! Garuda 1 evaded the missile! Missile closing in! Evade! Bandit on your tail! Shake him off! Garuda 1, are you trying to leave the battle? Return immediately! Careful now. The enemy has you on radar.
Get him! Hey, buddy, once more! My electrical system's fried. I've lost monitoring capabilities.
That damn alert won't shut up!
Talisman, Shamrock, just keep it up a little longer.
Careful now. The enemy has you on radar.
I'll get a lock any second.
I've got a lock. Garuda 2 launched missile.
Garuda team, come in. I'm here for you. This is Avalanche. Garuda team, thought you could use some cover. This is Skykid to Garuda team. Looks like we're having your party right here. Stay put. Just figured I better pay you back before I gotta pay interest.
I'll be damned. It looks like we got an all-star cast lined up for this performance. Thanks.
All planes, out the hell out of that battalion, and don't get shot up in the process.
Cover engaging. Avalanche engaging. Acquired. Commencing attack support. Voices of angels dance. Team attack. Sky King engaging. Shifting to attack. Need attack support. I'm there for you.
This one's mine. I tagged one.
6 o'clock. Watch your back.
Garuda 1 evaded the missile.
50%.
Let's fry these suckers.
Garuda 2 launched missile.
No man can touch me in the sky.
I'm on fire! Ejecting!
Missile was evaded.
Bandit dead ahead.
Clock, strike 'em hard.
I've got a lock. Careful now. The enemy has you on radar.
Get him! Head right once more.
That's it. Let's get this over with quick. Gotcha.
Heavy plane fired a missile.
Bandit hit. Careful now. The enemy has you on radar. I bagged one.
Missile evaded.
You're really something, Garuda 1.
Enemy forces are hanging on by a thread. Keep up the attacks.
We're still on you, one. The enemy fired a missile.
Lock on. Good work. Shamrock, Fox 2. Scored a kill.
All enemy fighters have been destroyed. Well done.
Are we even now, Garuda?
Avalanche, I got that fighter off your tail. Looks like you still got a loan to pay off.
But don't forget about that second Typhoon I shot down from you. That ought to count for something. You two have a lot to learn from Talisman. He never takes out loans up here. Looks like you saved Demaria again, Garuda team. I don't know what we'd do without you guys.
All planes get back to base. Next up is Grace Maria. Beginning attack on the enemy's WMD.
Mission accomplished. The WMD catalyst has been destroyed, and we have evaded the scorched earth threat to Grace Maria. As a result, your suspension has been officially lifted, and from this point on, we will be dispatching you into various missions again. This war is almost over. All forces resume advancing. We're about to free Grace Maria once and for all.
Everyone, hurry, back to your rooms!
We're huddled together in this cramped room. There is no way out for any of us. One boy is called Radio, aptly named considering he never parts with his own. He's spouting off code words used by the Amerian fighter pilots as he takes on the role of a jet himself.
Hey, kid!
This child's family owned and operated a well-known restaurant in the city. His father was a talented chef, and his mother a humble young waitress. They were both killed, their restaurant destroyed. All because of our aerial assaults. She proudly sings a song that was sung by her nation's pilots. I had this image in my mind of street children being a symbol of strife and despair brought on by the horrors of war. Now that I've had a closer look, I'm beginning to see something quite different. These children are lonely, but full of pride for their nation's pilots, always with them in spirit. Even with my crippled leg, I feel as though I could dance the night away with an angel. These children were hiding their treasure, their golden king, protecting it at all costs, keeping it safe from us, the invaders.
As we walked the long road, Ludmilla and I came across an unusual tank. I seem to remember this man from somewhere. What is his tank doing out here away from all the action? I thought the front lines were a bit more to the west.
Why don't you ladies go on ahead? We've got to figure out some way to sneak this hunk of metal into town.
All right then. Good luck. Bank job, boys.
See ya. Best get out of here. Have a nice dance with the angels now.
My family's inside joke has become quite the buzzword. Even the captain uses it to say goodbye. But it feels strange to hear others say it. We're almost there. And then I saw something horrible. Grace Maria, or what's left of it, was transformed into a heavily armed fortress. The Estavakian military intends to fight to the bitter end. She stares up at them, holding on to some sort of premonition.
I opened the briefcase that the children kindly returned to me. This mandate has been sealed for so long, but the time has come to break that seal. This is...
At last, our day has come. Initiate Operation Free Grace Maria. All forces advance into the capital. Enemy forces have thoroughly besieged Grace Maria. I'm sure we'll be running into some heavy resistance. This is the last battle. Let's win this thing and go home.